Do you sometimes worry that you are a law imposter wearing a mask? That they let you into law school or the legal profession by accident? This is called imposter syndrome, and today I'll discuss what it is and 12 things you can do to fight it and remove the mask. Also, if you stay to the end, you can learn about America's imposter president from 100 years ago. Hello, Lawlings. This is Professor Bo Baez. Imposter syndrome is the psychological experience of believing that one's accomplishments came about not through genuine ability, but as a result of having been lucky, having worked harder than others, or having manipulated other people's impressions. Though this can affect anyone, those in demanding jobs and professions are more likely to experience it. Okay, time for my confession. Taking and passing the bar exam was one of the most difficult things I've ever accomplished. But for nearly 20 years, I occasionally would have this thought that the Board of Bar Examiners made a tragic mistake and that they're going to rescind my admission to the bar. I imagined even receiving a letter telling me how sorry they were, but that they had accidentally transposed my name with someone who actually passed. Thank God I don't have that fear any longer. Along this same vein, a few weeks ago, some former students, now lawyers, were sharing this exact same fear about themselves. Here are a few other people who have suffered with imposter syndrome. U.S. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor, Albert Einstein, Tom Hanks, Emma Watson, and John Steinbeck. Steinbeck, who won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1962, once said of himself, "I am not a writer. I have been fooling myself and other people." So, if you are one of the millions of people who has imposter syndrome, here are my 12 P's on how you can combat it. Past. Look back at a time when you didn't think you could do it, but you succeeded. Then confront your imposter thoughts with your past accomplishments. Pause. When you make a mistake, stop and reflect on how you can grow from the experience. Many will dwell on the worst possible outcome, which almost never will happen, and in any event is outside your control. Performance. When you have self-doubts, write down the great things you have done and your failures. If you find yourself focusing only on failures, force yourself to write down one positive for each negative. Then compare the two lists. Seeing the wonderful things you've accomplished will help you defeat your self-doubt. Perception. It's important to get honest feedback from others. When you ask for feedback, don't say, "Hey, how am I doing?" That's going to get you a fine or great response. Instead, frame the question like this: "I'm trying to learn how to become a better communicator and want to know how you perceive me in this area. Can you tell me your thoughts on how I communicate and what I can do to be a better communicator?" You can use this technique with any area of your life. Personalities. Don't ever forget all the successful people who have struggled with imposter syndrome. You are in good company. Prepare. In life, we all need help, and there's no shame in seeking advice. Find a mentor, a life coach, a counselor, somebody to help you overcome your self-doubts. And don't need to wait till you've hit rock bottom. Start working on you now. Pretend. You've probably heard the phrase, "fake it until you make it." This means trust in your abilities to get the job done, and soon you will get it done. Progress. The standard is not perfection, but progress. Are you doing something that is improving your life and the life of others? If you are, then you are not an imposter, and you are progressing in your journey. Promises. Don't promise more than you can do. Be clear about what you can do and those things you are willing to learn to do. You'll find that others will let you try and provide you with the support you need to learn a new skill. Promote. When applying for a new job or promotion, don't inflate what you've done. Honestly and accurately share your accomplishments with others. Not only can resume puffery come back to haunt you in the future, it will reinforce your self-doubts as you create a mask to hide the real you. We want to meet the real you. Pronounce. When we share our struggles and hear successful people share their imposter illusions, we then understand we aren't alone. This is a common human experience. Perspective. When you aren't sure if you can do something, add the word yet to it. For example, when you start law school, say, I don't know how to take a law school exam yet. Or when looking for a job, say, I don't know how to get a job yet. Now for today's bonus law fact. World War I was over, and President Woodrow Wilson returned from the 1919 Paris Peace Conference to get support for the Treaty of Versailles and his League of Nations. But in October of 1919, he suffered a stroke, which left him bedridden and partially paralyzed. 4 years earlier, President Wilson had married Edith, a year after his first wife had died. Edith was a wealthy widow from Virginia, and she decided to keep the extent of her husband's medical condition hidden from everyone, including the president's cabinet. She decided it was in her husband's best interest not to resign because it would lead him into depression. So she created a plan to mislead the American people. She edited every medical communication, only allowing reports saying that he needed rest and would be working from his bedroom. In Edith's autobiography 20 years later, she referred to herself as the presidential steward. During her husband's final 17 months in office, she and the physicians were the only people to see him. When members of the president's cabinet came to visit, she would ask them what they wanted. She then went alone into the president's bedroom and came back later with some shaky notes, which she claimed the president had written. No one and no thing got past her. In her autobiography, here's what Edith said about her stewardship. I studied every paper sent from the different secretaries or senators and tried to digest and present in tabloid form the things that, despite my vigilance, had to go to the president. I myself never made a single decision regarding the disposition of public affairs. The only decision that was mine was what was important and what was not, and the very important decision of when to present matters to my husband. You might be wondering, what about legislation that needed the president's signature? Edith created a rubber stamp with the president's signature, which she claims he used to sign legislation. But given his condition, it is unlikely that he had the ability to fully comprehend the legislation. This has led many to claim that she, Edith Wilson, was our first female president, or, if you like, the imposter president. New videos every other Wednesday. Please make sure to hit the like and share buttons, then hit the subscribe and bell button so you can become a better student and a better lawyer.